Hello everyone, I'm Alfian and today we are going to solve the LeetCode challenge on the challenge number 168 called the Excel sheet column title. And for this particular challenge, given an integer column number, return in its corresponding column title as it appears in an Excel sheet. For example, we have the column A in Excel, which denoted as 1, which is the number of column that we need to convert 1 as the A value or the answer. And if we have B, then if we have 2, then it should be converted into B, and if we have 3, then it should be converted into C. So in short, 1 is A, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, and 5 is E, F is 6, and so on and so forth until which is the Z right here, which is 26, and this is the final one. And if we want to move on to the next one, which is 27, we can restart this from all over again, which is from the A, but in front of it we will need another extra A to denote that it is on the next space, which is 27. It's the same as 26 plus 1 and transitioning to the AA, and then starting again to the AB, which is 28, and so on and so forth. So if you still don't know about what is Excel, you can look it up on the Google Sheets or the Microsoft Excel, and you can see the column numbering. It's always denoted by the word or the letter instead of the number. But if we happen to convert the number into the letter of the every column, so it started from the A, B, C to the Z, and finally to the AA, AB, and finally, and the next one should be AAA, and then AAB, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's go to the Excalibur before implementing this. We need to convert the number into the letter variant, which is starting from the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then finally to the Z on the letter alphabet. So if let's say we have the A, which is 1, and B, which is 2, C 3, D is equals to 4, and so on and so forth. Then finally Z is 26. If we have the Z is 26, then AA should be 27, AB should be 28, and ZY is 701. What about ZZ? It should be 702. And what about the AAA? Starting from the A again, extra A in front of it, then it should be 703. And so let's go back to our code to see what is ZY. It is 701. It is stated as right here. If we have the counterpart of the Z, which is AZ should be 52, because since Z already 26, then we need to multiply this by 2, because we are starting all over again from the A with extra A in front of it. Then 52 should be AZ. If you want to use BZ, it should be 52 added by another 26. I think it's added by 26 or 26 times 3. 26 times 3. So we get the value of BZ. So the problem is we need to convert the column number into the letter variant. So if we happen to go past 26, then we should add another letter in front of it. But on the last case, which is 701, all of the calculation, it should be Z and Y. Why? Is because the Z is the result of the 701 divided by 26. Then we need to use a Math.floor to normalize the division without the floating point. So if we happen to use the calculator, if we have 701 is divided by the 26, then of course we got 26 and then comma 9, 6, and 1, 5, and so on and so forth. But we need to remove all of it, and we can just return the 26. Since 26 is denoted as the Z right here, then of course Z will be returned as the first answer, as the letter in front of the next one. And after we got the 26, we need to find the y. In order to find the y, we need to use 701 and then use the modulo 26. Modulo 26, we need to get the remainder of after the division of the 101 and divided by the 26, and we need to find the remainder of both numbers, and we got 25. If we happen to, let's say if z is 26, then y is be 25, and 24 is x, and 23 is y, not y but w. Then we need to count both the z to find the z and y, to use the both division with the Math.floor, and also the and also the remainder from the division, which is the 701 modulo 26, and we got the remainder of 25, which is the y. So we need to separate the floating point, and we need to convert the floating point into the letter variant from the column number, or the remainder from the result from the z right here, which is the comma 26 comma something something, and then we got the remainder of the comma into the letter variant. If we use the point 96 and 15 and so on and so forth, then we will not get the result as we wanted. But in order to convert the 26 variant, then we need to convert this into the remainder operator, which is 25 right here. Then 25 should be converted into y. Then we will get the result of the z and y. And another caveat that we need to translate this part of the column number, which 26 is equals to z and 1 is equals to a. But on the JavaScript, if we happen to use the array, converting the letter into the array, then it should be starting from 0 and up to the point to the 25. But we need to align this 0 into 1 and 25 into 26. So if we happen to use 25 based on the 0 index, then we will get the result of z. If we use the 1 index method, then we will get 1 and 26 variant. So why we should align this from the 0 index to the 25? So this one, the purpose of this approach is to fix the edge case where the result of the 26 is going to be undefined, because if we happen to use the array variant of the 26, then it's going to the out of bound, which is after z right here on the index 25. Then 26 is going to be undefined, and if we happen to go lower than index 0, which is -1, then it should be undefined. So we need to align this by 1. So another problem, if we have this constraint of the 2 with the power of the 31, let me eliminate this part, eliminate this story, and we use the 2. We have the max constraint of the, let's say 1 is the a. So the column number, which is the possible column number, is inclusive between the 1. It's possible the 1 to be 1 and up to the point to the maximum value of the 2 with the power of the 31. What happens if we use the 2 with the power of the 31 and then subtracted by the 1? Then we will get the maximum value of the integer variable, which is 2,147,000,000 and so on and so forth. Then if we happen to divide this by 26, then we will get this number, which is 800. And of course this 82 million is not on the list of the letters right here, which is the 0 index letter or the base 26. Why is base 26? Is because we are starting from 1 into the base 26, and we need to convert the number variant, which is base 10, into the base 26 variant, which is the all of the letter list right here from the alphabet from A to Z. So let's use the divide by 26 again until we find the final answer. 26 again and 26 again, and we got the result of 6. What is 6? 6, if we happen to find the 6 should be placed on the, let's say A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, E is 5, and 6 is F. The first letter of the maximum integer possible, which is 2 billion, then we are starting from the F string right here. Then we don't know the rest of the string, but as we already know that F should be starting, F is the result of the division by 26, so we got the first letter. And how to find the next letter after the F? We need to find the rest of the result from the after the 26 right here of the division, but we need to use this calculation from the back to the front. Let's say this 6 is the final answer, which is the F, and we place F on the first as the first letter. So before we find the very first letter, which is the final answer of F, then we need to iterate from the back to the front, which is stated as the example of the Z and Y right here, which is 701. We can use the 701 and use the modulo 26. Let me move these examples so we can view this better. Let's say we have 701 modulo by 26, we got the answer of 25, which is equals to Y. So we need to place Y into the last letter, and the next one we need to use the 701 and then divide it by 26, but then we need to eliminate all of the floating point by using the Math.trunc or Math.floor, you name it, to eliminate all of the floating number after the trailing comma after the division of the 701 divided by the 26. Let's say if we have 701 divided by the 26, and if we floor this or truncate this using the JavaScript function as usual, and we got 26, then 26 should be Z. Since we already assigned the Y on the back, then we need to assign Z in front of the Y. We have the existing Y, and then we need to insert Z in front of the Y, and thus we got the final result of the Z and Y. And we don't have to count everything after we count this one, because 26 is the final result of the Z, and there is no further calculation after the 26, then Z is the final answer. Then we already got the final result of the number variant should be 0, and we don't have to count forward. So let's go back to our code. To implement this, I'm using the TypeScript or JavaScript as the language. If you want to use something else other than JavaScript or TypeScript, then go ahead. I encourage you to do so. So let's declare the answer, and we need to declare this string, and we return answer as the placeholder for now. But in order to get the A is equals to 1, or 2 is equals to B, 3 equals to C, then we need to map the letter into the constant of the letter dictionary, and we need to start this from the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, P, W, X, Y, and Z. And we got the 26th letter of the alphabet. And we need to declare another one, which is the count of all of the letter dictionary. Using the count, need to declare the length by using the letter dictionary that takes the property of the length. And since we already declared the answer and we need to return the answer as the string variant from the conversion of the column number, we need to use the while loop. While the column number is higher than 0, we need to count all over again, like this maximum number of integer by the 26. But first we need to get the modulo, which is the remainder of this calculation, into the last letter, and we move one by one as we divide the number by 26, and then we get the letter as the result from the while loop. And finally, until all of the calculation is completed from the maximum number of the count by the divisor of the count, which is 26. But we need to align this by 1 as declared from the excluder drawing right here. We need to convert the base 26 into the 25 using the 0 index instead of 1 index, and we need to convert the a1 into the 0. A is equals to 0 and z is equals to 25, which is the 0 index instead of 1 index. So we need to align the column number by 1 is subtracted and equals by 1. But instead of mutating the parameter, which is the column number, we need to declare one variable called the let number is equals to that takes the parameter of the column number. So we don't have to mutate the parameter, then we need to mutate the num instead. So we can just leave the parameter as it is. We can use the num. As long as num is higher than 0, we need to align this, which is aligned to the base 26, but still on the 0 index instead of 1 index, 0 index variant. And we need to assign the letter by using the answer is equals to the letter dictionary, and we need to find the index using the modulo operator or the remainder operator. We need to assign the letter dictionary with the index from the remainder operator using the num, and then the percentage or the modulo operator by the count, which is the 26. Then the next one should be the rest of the answer. So we need to add one letter in front of the existing answer of the letter. So let's say we already have the answer of the answer, which is the F right here. Then as we assign this answer with the letter dictionary of the current index based on the number and the remainder of the count, which is the, let's say if we have zy, which is 25, we need to assign the y, and then we need to assign z in front of the y. Since y is already exists as the answer, then z is going to be assigned in front of the y. If we happen to, let's say we are rotating this part the other way around just for the example, you should not try this, and plus letter dictionary, and we assign the num by the count. If we happen to use this one, then we will assign the z after the y, which is after the existing answer, which is the y. Then the z is going to be placed after the existing answer. So we don't want that to happen, so I'm using the letter dictionary prior to the existing answer. So by the plus sign right here to denote that the z should be placed in front of the y. So the next one, we need to calculate the num using the Math.floor. You want to use Math.floor, or you want to use the Math truncation, Math.floor, or the Math.trunc to truncate the result from the floating number into the exact integer. Let's say if we have the 26,52, then the Math truncation or the Math.floor will convert the 26.52 into the exact 26 integer. So that is the main function of the Math truncation or Math.floor, but for a more lighter approach, we should use the Math truncation instead. We can use the num divided by the count. And finally, after the while loop has been completed and the num is already higher than the 0, then the while loop will stop and we got the final answer. So let's test this out to see if it works. And we got the wrong answer. We have the output of the lowercase, but the expected one should be the uppercase variant. What about the case 2 right here? It is the same thing, but if we look closely, we have the correct answer, but the main caveat is this one is the lowercase instead of the uppercase. So either we can convert the answer into the to uppercase. I think it's the uppercase method, or we can convert the letter dictionary into the uppercase variant, which is the ABCD into the uppercase variant, like this one, ABCDEFGHI, and so on and so forth into the Z. But for the sake of the time, we can use the to uppercase method right away. So let's submit our code to see if it really works. And we got the correct answer, and 22 test cases already passed. So that's about it. I hope you understand my explanation. If you still don't understand, you can ask me in the comment section, or if you have any better solutions regarding this challenge, tell us what you think in the comment section. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.